ever get a feeling something really bad is about to happen?
Has anyone else noticed that the fan response to Heeseung leaving enhypen has been a bit overkill? As you all probably know by now, on March 10th, the K-pop world woke up to enhypen member Heeseung's departure from the group, news so sudden that it even shocked other K-pop artists. For a group that has had the same 7 members since debuting through the survival show I-Land in 2020, this felt like something that shouldn't have even been possible. Heeseung has always been considered the ace of enhypen amongst fans and casual enjoyers alike, a main vocalist, dancer, producer, and some would even say the face of the group. So his departure obviously caused instant pandemonium online. But after 2 days of this Heeseung mania, it seems that engenes are refusing to let the dust settle. Which as an engene myself, has really started to grind my gears. Not because I don't think people should be sad about this, I for one, have been known to cry over a member leaving his group. But rather because a lot of this stress-induced discourse places Belift Lab as the culprit of some sort of master plot to get Heeseung out of the picture, and paints Heeseung as some infantile little squish void of agency who has no say in the future direction of his own career, and that easy-to-digest explanation simply isn't supported by the facts we have. Let's start with what we actually know. Belift Lab announced on March 10th that Heeseung would be leaving enhypen but remaining under the company as a solo artist, and that the decision came after discussions about his individual artistic direction. Heeseung himself also addressed fans in a handwritten letter where he expressed gratitude for his time in the group and explained that he wants to move forward on a new path. In other words, this was not a scandal, not a contract termination, and not a Jessica Jung situation. Heeseung is still with the company and is reportedly preparing a solo debut. Now I can understand meeting this context with a healthy amount of skepticism. However, disregarding this official information as automatically inaccurate just because it's official is not skepticism. That's foolish. Even if you look at the evidence around the announcement, it suggests the opposite of the conspiracy theories currently circulating in the fandom. For example, enhypen world merchandise featuring all 7 members was reportedly announced for release on March 9th, shortly before the Heeseung announcement from Belift Lab, and was immediately pulled after the news broke. If this had been a long-planned removal orchestrated by the company, releasing brand new OT7 merchandise right before announcing his departure would make absolutely no sense. On top of that, members Jay and Jake have already hinted that choreography and stage formations had to be reworked on short notice and that they had been practicing extra as a result, which again suggests that the timing of the announcement was abrupt for everyone involved.
Yeah, for sure. There's been a bit of changes in the choreo with the formation, all that, so we've been practicing a lot, so yeah.
And yet, despite all of that, a large portion of engenes have decided that HYBE must be secretly responsible and are discussing organizing protest trucks, staging demonstrations at enhypen events, and demanding that the company bring him back. What do you mean bring him back? He told you himself that he left enhypen for his own personal reasons, and you want to drag him back? These constant complaints have even reached people who have worked with Heeseung. Producer El Capitan, who has worked with Heeseung in the past, ended up releasing a statement asking fans to stop dragging him into the situation after they began bombarding him with questions and accusations online. He clarified that he had nothing to do with the decision and urged fans to respect everyone involved. Which is honestly a perfect example of how out of control this has gotten in a matter of days. When fans start shaking down random producers for answers, it's no longer about healthy skepticism or looking out for Heeseung, it's a search for someone to blame. Engenes just seem unable to accept the possibility, or rather reality, that Heeseung himself chose this. Because that would mean that he made a decision that prioritized his own life and career over the desires of the fandom. Look at the language that's being used online right now. Fans are saying things like we're going to protest until he returns or disband the whole group. But if the departure truly was his own decision, what those demands are actually saying is, we want him to come back even if he doesn't want to, and without him, enhypen isn't important to us. The fact of the matter is he's not sending distress signals, and he's not liking shady posts like his name is Manon. He told you his side of the story, period, point blank. Just because his story matches that of Belift doesn't suddenly mean that's cause to doubt him and fight for the opposite of what he wanted. The fans who claim to care about Heeseung are openly doubting his judgment about his own career, which he knows better than anyone, simply because they don't agree with his choice. That's what happens when you break their immersion. And this realization is where this conversation starts to get uncomfortable for those with entitlement issues. K-pop idols are not characters in a story that fans get to proofread and edit whenever the plot goes somewhere they don't like. Heeseung spent nearly 6 years in enhypen, from the survival show that created the group to their rise as one of the biggest fourth-generation boy groups. That's a massive portion of someone's youth spent both in the spotlight and the shadow of 6 other guys. If after all that time he decided that the path he wanted to take next was different, that's not a betrayal, or at least it shouldn't be. Heeseung is just a human who made a decision about the next chapter of his life, just as you all do. And ironically, the fans currently trying to protest his departure would probably be celebrating if the situation were reversed. Think about how the entire K-pop fandom celebrated Luna's departure from Blackberry Creative after everyone caught wind of Luna's mismanagement and the forced departure of member Chu. If we had documented evidence of HYBE treating him unfairly, or fans simply felt that Heeseung would be better off solo, the fandom would be united in supporting him in this change, of course. But because they didn't consent to this change, suddenly, Heeseung's autonomy and ability to put his goals ahead of fans is something unthinkable. At the end of the day, it's okay for fans to feel sad about this. It's okay to grieve Heeseung, especially after all the other group departures we've gotten in the past few weeks. While sadness is understandable, trying to forcibly reverse someone else's choice is not. Heeseung didn't leave the industry. He didn't even leave the company. He simply chose a different path forward. And if you really support him, the most respectful thing you can do is accept that it was his choice, and move on. We still have enhypen, and if you think they are somehow less valuable or worthy while one member short, then you were never a true engene from the start.